is Polyven Teachers and I am Sagurika Banerjee. Once again, I am back with another exciting video of Class 12th syllabus, and this is one of the chapters mentioned in English Core, and the name of the book is Flamingo. This is the chapter 2, which is named as Lost Spring, Stories of Stolen Childhood. तो इस चैप्टर का मैंने पहले एक वीडियो बना रखा है. Now in this particular video I will be giving you the focus points. कहाँ आपको ध्यान रखना है इस चैप्टर से रिलेटेड, कौन से पॉइंट्स याद रखने हैं as far as the examination is concerned. आप किस तरीके से प्रिपेयर करेंगे competency based questions, और above all the information about the whole chapter and the author. So let's not waste our time, but before I begin with my video, I would just request you to please like, share and subscribe my channel, and do comment if you have any doubts in this video. And please subscribe my channel, and don't forget to click on the bell icon. So now I'm not going to waste further time. Let's start with the video. So in the chapter Lost Spring, Stories of Stolen Childhood, this chapter is written by a famous writer, Anis Jung. So in this particular video, I will give you information about the author, Anis Jung, and then I will give you the theme of the chapter and then the storyline. I will not explain the story, but the focus points of part 1 and part 2, and then the expected competency based questions I will be discussing in this particular chapter video. So if I talk about the author, Anis Jung, she is an Indian female author, journalist and columnist, and she writes for major newspapers in India and abroad. Apart from that, she was born, we have the information that she was born in Rourkela, and she belongs to an aristocratic family in Hyderabad. Now, if I talk about the books which she has written and for which she is famous, the names of the books are Seven Sisters, which was published in 1994, then Breaking the Silence, जो book उनकी publish हुई थी 1997 में, then Unveiling India in 1987, and Night of the New Moon Encounters with Muslim Women in India. It was published in 1993. Now, if I talk about the Lost Spring. So Lost Spring, it highlights the plight of life of poor people and the children. Lost Spring में गरीबों की लाइफ के बारे में, उनकी कंडीशंस, पुअर लाइफ के बारे में, how are the shortcomings they are facing, and the children, उन बच्चों, उन families के बच्चों का क्या हाल हो रहा है, how they are just following the God given lineage to them, their family business, and they are not doing or thinking anything else. और किस तरीके से उनके लाइफ का जो ये प्रेशियस मोमेंट है, जो ये प्रेशियस स्टेज है, दैट इज कॉल्ड चाइल्डहुड, जिसे ऑथर ने बड़ी ही अच्छी तरीके से स्प्रिंग सीजन के साथ कंपेयर किया गया, क्योंकि स्प्रिंग सीजन भी बहुत कम समय के लिए होता है. सिमिलरली चाइल्डहुड इज ऑल्सो फॉर वेरी लेस पीरियड ऑफ टाइम. सो द author wants to tell that how these children are losing their childhood. They will not be having anything to cherish. उनकी यादें बहुत ज़्यादा चेरिश करने की नहीं होगी, क्योंकि बचपन में उन्होंने ज़्यादातर समय अपना इन सब चीज़ों में व्यतीत किया है जहाँ उन्हें पैसे अर्न करना था, बजाय इसके कि उन्हें एजुकेशन मिले या फिर वो अपनी लाइफ को केयर फ्री एटीट्यूड से जिए, बाकी जैसे दूसरे बच्चे जीते थे. So it employs them as child laborers, and spring of life refers to happiness. Lost spring is lost childhood. Lost spring का तात्पर्य है बचपन का जो स्टेज है वो उसका खो जाना. How these poor people exploited by the upper caste people, and how these children, ये छोटे बच्चे जो इन गरीब परिवारों से आते, वो किस तरीके से अपने अनएजुकेटेड पेरेंट्स और पुअर पेरेंट्स के द्वारा एक्सप्लॉइट किए जाते हैं. तो एक्सप्लॉइटेड बाय देयर अनएजुकेटेड एंड पुअर हेल्पलेस पेरेंट्स एंड द सोसाइटी ऑल्सो. नाउ इफ आई टॉक अबाउट द पार्ट 1 that deals with the story of Sahib Alam. So it is the story is set in the area Simapuri, which is in the outskirts of Delhi. So border periphery of Delhi, 10,000 families of rag pickers, they live there. सीमापुरी में सेटलमेंट कैसी होती थी? इट इज फिल्ड विद द स्लम पीपल, तो इट इज जनरली कॉल्ड एज स्लम एरिया, with people living in huts, small dingy houses, mud houses, tarpaulin roofed or tin roofed, poor sanitation, sanitation की कोई अच्छी facility नहीं थी, no safe drinking water, they had to fetch water from the public taps, and no sewage. So dirty, they are leading their life in a dirt atmosphere. They are compelled to live in substandard life, these poor people, because they don't have money and have ration cards to buy grains. These people have ration cards because their only purpose remains in their life is to fill their stomach and survive and live there, just to live. So for them, a roof on their head and for a meal, which can be very less for them, but at least this meal helps them to be alive. That is only their purpose. So both these people are have become the vote banks for the politicians. पॉलिटिशियंस के लिए ये लोग जो है ना, गरीब इंसान बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट हैं, क्योंकि हर 5 साल बाद पॉलिटिशियंस इनके पास आते हैं वोट के लिए. दे कीप दे say commit so many promises, but they do not fulfill it. Promises are made to break, and this Sahib Alam knows, because Anis Jung also carelessly committed something. She said that if I open a school, will you be studying in that school? So Sahib कहता है हाँ, of course, and he believes in that. And every day, whenever he used to encounter Sahib, this Anis Jung, he used to ask whether she has built the school or not. So at that point of time, the author is saying that these poor people, they have realized that bigger, the higher class people, they come and they often make promises, but they do not fulfill. Promises are kept to just break. They have become the vote banks for the politicians. Politicians जो है उनको आईडी कार्ड नहीं देते, वो उन्हें राशन कार्ड देते हैं. राशन कार्ड के जरिए उनका नाम जो है ना, इन गरीबों का नाम वोटर लिस्ट में आ जाता है, जिसकी वजह से उन्हें खाने को सस्ते अनाज मिलते हैं, और उसके बदले में these politicians they take their votes. So both children and elders are rag pickers. यहाँ पर रहने वाले स्लम एरिया में सीमापुरी के ज्यादातर लोग जो है स्लम रैग पिकिंग का काम करते हैं. So garbage holds different meanings. In the chapter it is written. So why for elders, अमीरों के, for बड़े लोगों के लिए, जो परिवार में पुअर फैमिलीज के जो हेड है, जो लोग एक्चुअली रैग पिकिंग का काम करते हैं, उनके लिए इट इज द ओनली सोर्स ऑफ इनकम. सो इट इज रिटन फॉर एल्डर्स इट इज द मीन्स ऑफ लाइवलीहुड, बट फॉर द चिल्ड्रन लाइक साहेब, इट इज गोल्ड माइन. ये एक सोने की खान की तरह है, जिसमें वो जब ढूंढते स्क्राउजिंग करते हैं तो उन्हें कभी उन्हें कभी एक रुपए का सिक्का मिलता है, कभी 10 रुपए का नोट मिलता है. सो फॉर देम इट इज अ गोल्ड माइन एंड इट इज समथिंग विच इज फिल्ड विद सरप्राइजेस. So surprises in the forms of coins and currency notes. Children are deprived of schooling, fulfilling their dreams. यहाँ के बच्चे, इन पुअर परिवार के बच्चों को जो है ना, स्कूल से उनका जो राइट टू एजुकेशन है उससे डिप्राइव किया जाता है. बच्चों को स्कूल जाने को फैसिलिटी नहीं है, बिकॉज देयर इज नो स्कूल नियर बाई. और इसके अलावा वो बच्चे जो है ना, वो अपना सपना भी पूरा नहीं कर पाते. अगर वो कुछ सोचते भी है लाइफ में बनने का, they cannot do because they do not have any money. So and apart from that, their family wants them to work to earn money at a very tender age. As a result, they become the child labor. So wearing shoes, एक और चीज जो इनके पास नहीं होती है, वो होता है शूज पहनना, और जो कि इनके पास नहीं है because they are mostly seen barefooted. Gang of rag pickers who move in local areas barefoot with. Now Sahib Alam is a boy of 10 years old. He is a rag picker. ये सारे पॉइंट्स आप नोट कर सकते हैं, वीडियो को स्टॉप करके और जॉट डाउन कर सकते हैं. पूरे चैप्टर में आपको इन सब चीजों पर ही ज्यादा स्ट्रेस देना है, इनको दिमाग में रखना है, क्योंकि क्वेश्चंस इसी से रिलेटेड आते हैं. Name means Lord of Universe. So very ironical. There is an ironical thing which the writer has portrayed in this chapter. The boy was named as Sahib Alam, जिसका मतलब होता है लॉर्ड ऑफ यूनिवर्स. लेकिन वाकई में एक्चुअल लाइफ में साहेब कोई लॉर्ड ऑफ यूनिवर्स नहीं था, ही वाज जस्ट अ रैग पिकर. A dream to go to school. He has a dream to go to school. He has a dream to wear tennis shoes. He has a dream to play tennis, जो कि unfulfilled dream रह गए हैं. He gets a discarded pair of tennis shoes. कहीं से उसे एक tennis shoes मिलता है पुराना discarded pair. But क्या होता है कि he didn't mind for that, क्योंकि उस हालांकि उस shoes में कुछ holes थे, but he didn't mind because it was his own. He got it. Then later he works in a tea stall जहाँ पर he used to earn rupees 800 as a salary, and but he is not happy and contented with that job, क्योंकि हालांकि उसे salary मिल रही थी. He also used to get some meals, खाना भी मिल रहा था. But the only thing which made him unhappy was that he was no more his own master. He had to follow somebody else's instructions. उसे किसी और के instructions follow करने पड़ते थे. इसीलिए वो इस job से खुश नहीं था. He has no freedom. And then the weight of tin canister is heavier than the bag of rags. So जो tin canister वो लेके घूमता था, वो उसको ज्यादा हेवी लग रहा था. इस वजह से नहीं कि वो टिन से बना हुआ है और इससे पहले वो बैग लेके घूमता था जो कपड़े से बना हुआ है, नहीं. इस वजह से बिकॉज टिन कैनिस्टर के साथ एक लोड ऑफ रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज थी, किसी और के नौकरी करने का एक फीलिंग था, लूजिंग हिज ओन फ्रीडम था, विच वॉज नॉट देयर when he was a rag picker. And these were the reasons why Saib Alam was not happy with this new job. Now the second part of the chapter deals with the story of a bangle making family where the child works as a child labor in the bangle making factory in Firozabad, और इस बच्चे का नाम है मुकेश. तो इसको पढ़ने से पहले we will come to know what it is about. Like glass bangle making is basically generally done in the city of Firozabad, where there are lots of factories and industries are there of glass bangle making. So most of the residents of in that place, Firozabad, they are engaged in this work of making bangles. So they work in the factories. और जो ये poor workers होते हैं जो factories में actually काम करते हैं, bangles बनाते हैं, how do they work? जैसे उनका वर्किंग प्लेस कैसा है एंड रहने की जगह कैसी है. सो वेयर दे वर्क, इट इज अ स्मॉल हट, डार्क, नो लाइट एंड वेरी पुअर वेंटिलेशन, हॉवल्स ऑफ डिसइंटीग्रेटिंग वॉल्स, दीवारें झरझर हालत में हैं, स्टिंकिंग ऑफ गार्बेज की बदबू आती है, ओवर क्राउडेड विद ह्यूमंस एंड एनिमल्स. जो घर जिसमें ये रहते हैं वो छोटा सा घर, उसमें बहुत सारे लोग होते हैं, एनिमल्स भी रहते हैं, इंसान भी रहते हैं. वेरी नैरो लेन, घर के सामने जो सड़क है, गली है, वो बहुत ही पतली सी है. अनस्टेडी डोर्स, नो विंडोज, हिलते हुए हिंजेस से निकले हुए डोर्स हैं which if you just kick them they will break. There are no windows in the houses. Apart from that, full of smoky lanes, no fresh air, and dark rooms, high temperatures. So you can jot down these points to describe the place. Next is the economic condition. What is the economic condition of that area? You can see in the picture also, this child is making some bangles in the furnace. So they are leading a deprived life where they are not getting any facilities. They are leading a unhealthy life. They are compelled to lead a substandard life. क्योंकि सबस्टैंडर्ड क्योंकि बेसिक चीजें जो लाइफ के लिए जरूरी हैं, एमिनिटीज, वो उनके पास नहीं है. They are not allowed to form guilds at workers union. At one time, the author Anis Jung talks to some of the youth of that place, and she asks them why they are not forming an association and bring their problem in the notice of the system or the government. So at that point of time, one of the youths said that there is no point of making such association, क्योंकि अगर वो ऐसा कोई association बनाते हैं तो they will be caught, police will put them behind the bars and will torture them, and nobody will listen to their problems. So this is their problem, and then these people are exploited by the higher upper class people. And who are they? They are bureaucrats, the businessmen, the bureaucrats, the police, the politicians, the middleman, the साहूकार. ये सारे लोग अपने अपने तरीके से इन पुअर पीपल का शोषण करते हैं, एक्सप्लॉइट करते हैं. जैसे ब्यूरोक्रेट्स आते हैं, दे टेल देम सम रूल्स एंड देन इट इज सो करप्टेड that for everything, for every work of their, they need money, and these poor people are forced to pay that. And then police also takes its own cut, middleman also takes his own cut, and then politicians, they come only once in 5 years, and that is also for the sake of the votes, and these politicians, they do not work for them. Then comes the saukars, they lend the money to these poor people at very high rate of interest, which these people are not able to pay. Generation after generation, they are just trying to pay the interest of that principal amount. So this way, these are people, they never are able to come out from their perpetual state of poverty. Child working in the bangle factory, what are the shortcomings, what are the things, possible hazards they have to face? That is, accidents they can face. They can have loss of vision because continuously they are working in a dark room. Then skin burns, bronchitis, asthma, physical and mental weaknesses, and genetic problems due to the exposure to chemicals. Now, if I talk about the boy Mukesh, around whom the entire story, this part 2 revolves, he is a boy, a child labor in family profession of bangle making in Firozabad, and he dares to dream differently. एक खासियत थी जिसके लिए वो narrator, the author की नजर में आया, वो था कि दिस बॉय डेयर्स टू ड्रीम डिफरेंटली, क्योंकि वहां के लोगों का यही मानना है कि दिस इज अ गॉड गिवन लीनिएज and they cannot break. Nobody dares to break this God given lineage or tradition given by the God. जो पीढ़ियों से इनके परिवार के लोग इसी प्रोफेशन में है, तो ईश्वर ने उन्हें पैदा ही किया ऐसे परिवार में जहां फैमिली प्रोफेशन ही यही है, तो वो लोग कोई और काम करने की क्यों सोचे? दिस वॉज देयर परसेप्शन, बट दिस बॉय मुकेश ड्रीम समथिंग एल्स. ही डेयर्स टू ड्रीम differently. He wants to become a motor mechanic and his own master. He wants to become his own master. And for that, he is ready to travel a long distance towards the garage where he will learn about driving. We will learn about different things about being, how to take care of the cars. Other young children of Firozabad are submitted to age-old miseries. बाकी के वहाँ के बच्चे जो है ना, वो ये पुराने अपने फैमिली प्रोफेशन में लगे, वो उनकी सोच बिल्कुल नई नहीं है, वो सिर्फ इसी काम में एंगेज्ड है और इसी काम में ही रहना चाहते हैं. मुकेश थोड़ा सा अलग था, वो इसीलिए अपने बारे में थोड़ा दूसरा सपना सोच रहा था. Workers do not get even two times meal every day. This is also referred in the story कि इन workers को सालों साल पेट भर खाना भी नहीं नसीब हुआ, तो they do not get enough food to have. They just get that much of food which helps them to be alive. Now, this is all about the storyline of the chapter Lost Spring, Stories of Stolen Childhood. 2 stories are there. Now, let us just discuss the competency-based questions. Exam में किस type के questions आएंगे? They do not ask you directly. They will give you questions where the child has to analyze and critically comment about it. Question number 1, where does the author meet Sahib every morning? The narrator encounters Sahib scratching for gold in the garbage dumps of a neighborhood. Sahib is one of the army of barefoot boys who can be seen scrounging for gold in the garbage. आप answers चाहे तो इसमें से भी note कर सकते हैं. What reason did Sahib give for not going to school? Sahib did not go to school because he did not have enough bucks to pay for school fees. Filling his stomach was his first priority, and above all, he did not have any school in his nearby place. Third question, bring out the contrast between his life in reality and the meaning of his name. उसकी life reality में कैसी थी और उसके नाम का अर्थ क्या है? So, although the meaning of his name was Lord of Universe, which is Sahib-e-Alam, he was merely a rag picker who searched garbage dumps to survive. That is the contrast between his name and his life in reality. Next is, what reason does a person give for walking barefoot? What is the author's personal opinion regarding this reasoning? The author disagrees with the usual explanation that is offered about it being a tradition in India to walk barefoot. She feels this is only an excuse for lack of money. They live in a perpetual state of poverty. Next is bring out the difference in the standard of living of the priest of the past and the present. The son of the old priest had to pray to the goddess fervently for a pair of shoes, a luxury that the new priest, can easily afford. This goes on to show that the standard of living of the new priest is much higher than the old priest. However, this does not mean that the area has been rid of poverty. Next is how does rag picking differ for an adult and for a child? So for adults, rag picking was only a means of survival, but for children, a lot of excitement was associated with the same. For they often found unexpected things, as a 10 rupee note in the garbage. There was always a hope of coming across unexpected surprises, and so garbage was wrapped in wonder for them. Next is why does the hole in the shoe not bother Sahib? Sahib is one of the rag pickers whom the author encounters often. He does not have any shoes to wear and walks barefoot. But when he gets new sports shoes, even though with a hole, it makes him happy that at last he possesses a sports shoe, a shoe of his own, which makes him happy and contented. Next is was Sahib happy with the newfound job? If not, why? Sahib is not really happy working at the tea stall because working for a master meant sacrificing his own freedom and his carefree look. Even though the job at the tea stall pays him 800 rupees and all his meals, he seems less contented than before. Now, next question is bring out the horrible condition within the glass blowing industry. The horrible condition within the glass blowing industry leads to many diseases as the workers work in suffocating and unhygienic conditions. They lose their eyesight early in their life as they work at high temperature. They suffer from diseases like asthma, skin diseases, heart problems, etc. And the last question is describe the living condition in Firozabad. The living condition of the factory workers in Firozabad is pathetic. They live in a small and dingy houses which are called hovels. They have crumbling walls, wobbly doors and no windows. They have all the members of the family live in the same house, so they are overcrowded with humans and animals. And they have their own social customs and traditions. So that's all for today. I hope I have been able to make you understand and focus on all the value points of the chapter along with the information about the author and the expected competency based questions. So if you like this video, please like, share and subscribe my channel. And if you have any doubt regarding this chapter or any other topics, please do comment in the comment section. And don't forget to click on the bell icon so that whenever I share a new video, you get a notification of it. So till I bring more video, stay tuned to my channel #PolyBandTeachers. Till then, bye bye.